All right, guys, so we got to talk about this interesting story from this doctor who apparently is not able to attract a spouse. Okay, apparently she's having some difficulties in the single dating market, and she's going to be going ahead and outlining some of her dates. Take a look.
Even though I was against it, I was like, let me just try it. So this guy, he also was a surgery resident. He was a little bit higher up. Essentially, we went on a date and everything like that. And, we were vibing. It was a good time, right? Until he asked me, he was like, oh, what made you become a surgeon? Like, what made you decide to become a surgeon? I was like, I really like it. I was like, I really love being hands-on and just went into my whole spiel about why I wanted to be a surgeon. And he essentially was like, if I decide to marry a doctor, he was like, I prefer them to be family medicine or a dermatologist because I don't believe that a woman should be working more than a man or as much as a man. I was like, okay. I didn't even think I said anything. I think I was just like, okay, that's good for you. Anyway, I just stopped talking to him. I was like, dating as a doctor is becoming weird. I was dating this guy, right? We were dating for a little bit. Like, I felt deep down he was competing with me. I don't know why I just felt like that. Anyway, this situation that happened kind of sealed the deal. So me and him, we were having a conversation, just a casual conversation. He was telling me about this story, how like this family went to like different doctors, like, trying to figure out what's going on, but no one could figure it out. And this one doctor ended up figuring out what was going on. He just came out and was like, most doctors are dumb. Taken back, I was like, what are you saying? He was like, yeah, most doctors are dumb. He was like, a lot of them don't take their job seriously, just going on a rant. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's your opinion. I'm not really entertaining it much. And then he started to say, like, if I wanted to be a doctor, I could be a doctor. It's like, it's not hard. Like, I can be a doctor. It was so weird. Anyway, I ended up, eventually stopped talking to him, but I don't know what's up with these guys.
I don't know if I necessarily believe this story, to be honest with you guys. Man or woman, I think it's an accomplishment to be a doctor because give or take, it's about 10 years. Plus you have to get ongoing training and things of that nature. So it's kind of like this ongoing thing. So I think that in itself is an accomplishment and it's pretty impressive. Now, I don't know if he was necessarily making fun of you per se. I mean, it is a possibility, but I could see more of a realistic scenario where perhaps y'all were probably jostling back and forth. Maybe you threw your degrees or, mentioned how educated you are, and perhaps he took a jab. He was probably poking fun at you and said, your degrees, your diploma, that ain't nothing. Now, as far as men in general, in regards to getting with a woman and building a legacy, chances are you're going to want to have your woman at home. Okay. You're going to want to have your woman at home. Or if she is working, at least have some family time where she's able to be home at a reasonable time. You got to understand with these doctors and nurses and people in the medical field, they are on the clock 24/7. A lot of them are on call. They're going to have to drop everything and attend to work. Now, apparently this is a hot topic when it comes to women in the medical field. Okay. Apparently she's not the only one that's having difficulties finding a partner. Take a look.
You know what I find really interesting about medical school that nobody ever told me? Or medicine in general? As a woman, your dating pool gets significantly smaller. As a man, oh my god, they're so lucky. Their dating pool multiplies. And I just think that is so interesting. And when I've talked about this with all my female friends in medical school, we're all kind of on the same page. As long as he has a good career and he likes his job and he works hard at it, like, we don't really care what they do. But a lot of men are completely turned off by the idea that we're going to make more money than them. Which is bizarre to me. Like, we're going to be a team. Why wouldn't you be happy that we're making a lot of money? That's better for us. And I think a lot of men think that women will exclude them for not having a certain degree of education or not making enough money. And I'm sure there are women like that exist. But most women in medicine that I've met just want a supportive partner who encourages their passions. It would actually be better for me not to be with someone who's a doctor. We'd have a more balanced life and the schedules would be easier to work around. Just an interesting thought that I've noticed amongst all my friends.
All right, guys, so there you have it. These career-driven women are having difficulties finding a man. Okay, in my opinion, there's only two scenarios for these types of women. First option is going to be a guy in their career, okay? Somebody that understands their schedule, understands kind of the industry, so to speak, and kind of gets that they're not necessarily going to be available at all times, okay? That's the first scenario. The second scenario is going to be a guy that doesn't necessarily make the same amount of money, but has the time to kind of pump into the relationship. So pretty much being a cheerleader to what they have going on, taking the responsibility of cooking, cleaning, looking after the kids, their hype man, so to speak, in regards to them getting to that next level when it comes to their career. The guys that they want, okay, the high value guys, the productive guys, they're not gonna be okay with being in that situation, okay? They're gonna want to be the head of the house. They're gonna want to have their significant other home taking care of the children, cooking and cleaning, and kind of taking on the role of being that feminine woman, okay? A woman in medicine, chances are she's gonna be in her masculine frame as she's maneuvering throughout work, okay? Because she's in a position of authority. People are constantly looking up to her. She needs to insert herself and be dominant and be reassuring when she's dealing with her clients. So that automatically puts her in a masculine position, okay? Again, I'm not too sure if these high value guys want to deal with a woman like that. I'm just saying. Now, this next example is a woman who's a doctor who apparently has found some success when it comes to dating. Okay, it seems like the guy is kind of taking a back seat here. It seems like she's kind of leading the relationship. He has to conform to her ideologies, to her schedule, and kind of what she has going on. Take a look.
During my second year of med school, we had one professor tell us that finding a partner is going to be significantly easier for the men in our class than the women. Now, she was married, but I definitely see what she was talking about. Being a woman in medicine, I am not a traditional girl to date by any means. Like, when me and my boyfriend first started dating, we were having like check-in text messages maybe once or twice a week. We were seeing each other maybe once a month. Like, my schedule was absolutely insane. It got better, and as we knew each other more, I was willing to make more time to spend with him and to go on dates and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not someone who's constantly going to be like calling you, texting you, able to hang out. It's a very different dynamic dating a woman in medicine. It also takes a whole hell of a lot to impress me. Like, doing the basics, like having a job, like you need to have a job. And I'm not impressed by your job because I know I'll be able to take care of myself. So it's really more so like who you are at the core as a person. Like, do you have morals? Do you have integrity? Are you responsible? Are you accountable? Are you a God-fearing man? Do I think you're funny? Like, that's actually very high on the list. Like, do we actually have chemistry? Can we have a real conversation? Do you still push me to be better despite me, you know, being this career woman, whatever, blah, 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 super successful, da, da, da. Like, I still want someone who pushes me and motivates me. So it's different, and it definitely intimidates a lot of people. Communication, planning ahead, and flexibility. My schedule varies week to week. So at the beginning of the month, I go ahead and tell my boyfriend like what weekends I'm going to have off. Does he always remember? No. But I at least say like, these are the weekends I'm free if we want to go ahead and plan something. So planning ahead is also important. Also in line with communication is being very open, honest, and vulnerable about your feelings. Especially when you're like burnt out or stressed about work, so that your partner doesn't think that it's them. Because a lot of times when I come home from the hospital, I'm in a terrible mood and I don't want to see or talk to anyone. But living with my boyfriend, I've had to learn that, you know, number one, I don't need to take out my work stress on him, but also when I'm on a more stressful rotation, letting him know I'm feeling really anxious right now. I'm feeling really stressed out. I'm sad, like whatever it is. As far as being flexible, we do not have a conventional relationship by any means. Sometimes he has to go to big events without me because of how crazy my schedule is. And we don't try to explain that to anyone else. I really don't care if anyone else understands why we do things the way that we do. I work a lot. And so, as long as you guys are being flexible with each other, I think that that is all that you can do.
All right, guys. So there you have it. I mean, listen, if it's working out for her, more power to her. But, you know, a productive guy, competent guy looking to build a legacy. I don't know if this is necessarily the ideal situation. I think when women get into these particular industries, it simply disqualifies a lot of guys from wanting to be in this potential situation, okay? Because these high value guys are going to look for women that are available, okay? You need to have time for me and the children. And if you're out here working on call, constantly at the hospital, conventions, on an airplane, so on and so forth, it's just a difficult situation to be in. And a woman being educated is not really a prerequisite when it comes to a high value guy. Okay. Now let's be clear. We're not looking for high school dropouts and, people that can, or women that can't read or write. But I mean, the career shouldn't necessarily be your personality. That's number one. And number two, it shouldn't impede the relationship, right? It shouldn't really get in the way of us building something for the future. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Go ahead and provide me some feedback. And until next time.